Hey guys, it's Wolf from Trimaris again. In this video we're going to cover rules of the list and conventions of combat. We may actually break the video up into two. Now you may think that the rules of the list are fairly common sense, but we are dealing with thousands of people at times. So these rules have to be instated for everyone's safety and well-being. First off, you, as a fighter, must recognize that I am swinging a very large stick at you. Granted, you're wearing armor, but there's always the possibility of injury. Granted, it's a slight possibility, and serious injury rarely occurs, but it is a possibility, and you take responsibility for that. Second, you need to be authorized. We'll go over authorization standards in another video. And it's actually probably best that you go over those standards with a knight and or a marshal to get you ready for heavy weapons combat. Third, because you're now authorized, you understand that you have to wear all the required armor. You have to meet at least society minimum, and if your kingdom imposes a more stringent armor requirement, you must also adhere to that. Also, with the required armor, you have to understand weapon standards. The sovereign, or royalty, and or those put in charge, including the marshalate, can say that if they don't like a weapon, such as Mr. Pinky Mace here, they can bar that from the field. If for some reason you bring out some god-awful thing such as this, and they say, hey man, look, that just doesn't meet standards, your best option is to go, oh, okay, maybe after the event or the practice you could explain to me how to make that legal, or explain to me a better way to do it. Whatever you do, as it would be career suicide, is argue with the marshal. Even if you think you're right, it's best to either A, consult the handbook, or B, get another marshal involved and let them discuss it. They've been appointed to marshal for your best interest and for everybody else's best interest. So even if you believe a weapon is of your society standard, the marshal and or king, queen, or prince and princess say, hey, you can't use that, off it goes. Also, you must be acceptable to the sovereign and the marshal. Meaning, if you're at a kingdom event and everybody is in garb and proper attire, and you show up in an anthrax t-shirt and cut-off jean shorts with your armor underneath, they have the ability to say, you know, you are not presentable for combat at this event. Please change. And again, that is something that they have the right to do. We are playing in, pre-16th century Europe, and need to be able to present as such. Also, when we're talking tournaments, or a list, if you will, we are not going to throw our weapon. It's not proper. Also, we're not going to have thrown weapons, as in throwing axes and javelins and such. Those are prohibited in a list, as they are not what is deemed a chivalrous weapon. That's more of a melee weapon. Other things that you might want to be concerned about are we do not use live weapons whatsoever. If you are on the field of combat, you will have no live weapons on you whatsoever. Even if you have an AOA or a GOA, a grant of arms or a ward of arms, you cannot have a dagger or a real sword at your side. This is for several reasons. If you do not have a prop weapon that's cheap steel, there's a good chance, like if you get trampled on or something, that thing could break open, cut somebody up, and now we're all in big trouble and our game's over. So do yourself a favor, even if you have a grant of arms or a ward of arms, only use that when you're off the list field and or off the melee field. Do not bring those weapons onto the actual fighting field. If you're a light weapons fighter, I'm not quite sure on those rules, but I'm pretty sure that those rules still apply, but only to their slogger and their trifoil. I'm not quite sure the name of that pairing device. I'm sure somebody will correct me and add it down below there. Two last things I want to address. One, no matter who they are, whether it be marshal, king, queen, your knight, friends, anybody can force you to fight. It is your responsibility to understand that if your ankle hurts or your knee hurts, you need to be responsible enough to say, I am unfit to fight currently. No one can force you to do so, and just because you choose not to fight does not make you dishonorable in any shape, form, or fashion. Although, if you enter a list and you are scheduled to fight someone, and for some reason you are not feeling well and or refuse to fight that person, you acknowledge the fact that you concede the fight. I have not seen this. I've seen Knight, encourage people, come on man, let's get up and go, and guys say, I'm not feeling it, and the Knight go, all right man, well we're there, we really could use you, and we're there if you want to come. But I've never seen anybody get forced, but that is something I wanted to bring to your attention. Last thing I wanted to acknowledge today was going to be shot recognition. Sometimes we see people, preferably new people, get a little freaked out because a guy's coming at him and bashing him down. And they'll turtle up and go, good, 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 good. If you're whispering good, while I am all epied up, banging on adrenaline, going for the kill, I'm not going to hear you mouse squeak, good. So it comes and rings your gut. You might not have any air, but you better, good! They will no longer hit you. Every now and then, somebody's in a combo, and they end up hitting you one or two more times after you say, good! Mainly because they're in motion. Usually it's only once. Do yourself a favor and not complain about it. If it seems to become excessive, walk away, play with somebody else. Well, that's it for today, guys. Be safe and have fun.